This is 8.3a of algebra. So if you think back to when you started learning multiplication, you probably learned it in a visual way. So like 2 times 3, you'd have a grid. 2 rows, or 2 columns and 3 rows, right? 2 times 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 times 3 is 6. Okay, we can do that same sort of thing when we're multiplying binomials. Okay, so here's the problem that this is showing. Okay, and when we multiply, you can see we get 2x squared. We get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 x's. And we get 2 little 1's there. And so here's our answer. 2x squared plus 5x plus 2. Right, so if we had something like x plus 3 times x plus 2, I can make it this side. That'd be x. Here's my 3, right? 1, 1, and 1. Over here I'll put my x and my 2, so 1 and 1. So this would make a square. X times x is x squared. X times 1, well, that's just x. X times 1, that's just x. X times 1, that's just x. Over here, x times 1, that's just x. X times 1, that's just x. 1 times 1, well, that's 1. 1 times 1, 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 that's 1. Then I can add it all up. Well, I've only got 1x squared. Plus, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 x's. Plus, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that'd be my answer. And that'd be a pretty long process to do for all of these. So instead, I'm going to show you 3 different methods of how we multiply binomials. Okay? The first one is the distributive property. So let's look at our problem here. Okay? This first little bit, this x is going to come out front. Okay? And then I'm going to rewrite that second binomial. So 4x plus 3. And then I'm going to take the rest of this, so the minus 6, and that goes next. And then I put my parenthesis again, 4x plus 3. Okay? These two pieces here, this piece, you've done before. That's just multiplying a monomial into a binomial. Okay? And then we're just going to have to combine them. So I'm going to multiply x times 4x, right? I'm distributing in x times 4x plus x times 3. X times 4x, that's 4x squared, right? We add our exponents. Plus x times 3 is just 3x. Okay, over here we get negative 6 times 4x. Negative 6 times 4x plus negative 6 times 3. Negative 6 times 4x, that's a negative 24x. Plus negative 6 times 3, that's a negative 18. So now what I need to do is I need to combine these two in the middle because they're the same things, right? 3 bananas and negative 24 bananas. They're both x's, so I can combine them. So 4x squared goes out front. 3 minus 24 is going to give us minus, or a negative, 21x. And we've got that negative 18 at the end. Okay, so that's distributive property. You split up the first thing, right here, the blue and the red. Split the x out front, put your parentheses. Put the minus 3 next, put your parentheses. Okay, this next one I personally think is the easiest one. It's our table method. So we draw a window or a box with cross sections in it. And we're going to take this, we're going to put them on the top. So along the top and along the left. So I'm going to put the 3x on the top with the 1 and the x with the 4 on the left. And now I'm going to multiply 3x times x. That gives us 3x squared. 1 times x gives us just a plain x, or a 1x. 3x times 4, that gives us 12x. And 4 times 1, that gives us 4. And then we just need to add that. So 3x squared plus x plus 12x plus 4. And then I can combine these two middle terms. So 3x plus, that's a 1 out front, right? So 13x plus 4. Okay? if you have a minus sign, right? So look at their problem. X minus 3. That minus needs to go with the 3 to make it a negative 3. And finally, our last method is called FOIL. All right, if you think back to what we just did in the first slide, okay, right, this sort of visual thing, if you notice, well, these two blue ones are the same size. These green ones can go together. These green ones can go together. And these yellow ones can go together, just like this. We get those from multiplying the first numbers, the outside numbers, the inside numbers, and the last numbers. So FOIL stands for first, outside, inside, and last. And let me show you in an example which terms those would be. So let's say we've got x plus 2 times x plus 3, okay? These two are the first terms, okay? These two terms are the outside terms. These two terms are the inside terms. And these two terms are the last terms. Okay, so in my opinion, I think the table method is the easiest. Most students think that the FOIL method is the most confusing, although that's the one that has actually been popular for the longest that I've learned. So I would point you towards using the distributive or the table, but you may use FOIL if you want, and I'm going to show you how to do it. So let's do this one here. So we've got 3x minus 4 times x plus 2. So first we got to do is f, the first. So that's 3x times x, these two. Plus, next comes the O, that's the outside, that's these two terms. So that's 3x times 2. Plus, then we've got the I, so that's the inside terms, so these two. So negative 4 times x. Then we get the last terms, negative 4 times 2. Plus negative 4 times 2. So I'm going to go through and simplify each of these terms here. 3x times x, that's 3x squared. Plus 3x times 2, that's 6x. Plus negative 4 times x, that's negative 4x. Plus negative 4 times 2, that's a negative 8. I can combine my middle two terms, 3x squared, and then 6x minus 4x, or plus a negative 4x, that's going to be a positive 2x. And at the end, I'm going to change that plus a negative into just a minus sign, so minus 8. So there are your three options. You pick what's best for you, and I'd say just stick with it. And there's your homework.